Welcome everyone to my channel You Can Talk. This channel will focus on a lot of information and knowledge sharing, which I'm sure you'll not regret with the viewership. So starting will be on this channel, we'll be focusing on college application, which is a very daunting subject and a daunting topic that everybody wants to discuss, and how your high school year should be. So to talk about that and to kind of give us a guidance, suggestion, we have Ayushi today with us, and I have witnessed her impeccable journey. She has been selected in colleges like NYU, UNC Chapel Hill, UNC Charlotte, NC State, and getting a good scholarship from Wofford University. So, the list goes on. So I'll take a pause here and. We'll have Ayushi speak about herself, and then how she crafted and orchestrated her college applications. And before we hand it over to Ayushi, this series of on college application discussions is going to be on a few series. So if you want to know and have all the information handy, you have to go through the different parts that I'll be sharing with you all, and I'm sure you will gain a lot of information, and stay tuned for all that has for all and everything from the journey to the mantras and the maneuvering Aisha is going to share with us. So yeah, over to you. Tell me something about yourself, Aisha. Let's start with that.
So something just about my high school journey. It was a breeze for me. It wasn't. I don't think I struggled as much as I see a lot of people do today. I'm very thankful for that. My ninth grade was in virtual learning because of COVID. So that was one of the a year of slacking off for me. So it wasn't much studying or much effort that I had to put in. My 10th and 11th were as I had to study, but they were also all right. I was able to manage and cope up. I will say though, my senior year was a lot for me. As you mentioned, the college process is quite daunting. It was a lot of things all of a sudden onto me. So, but I still managed it through support, like having a good support system and myself and my school and everything. So yeah, so if my advice can help any of you have the process be more comforting or have it be easier for you, then I'd be quite happy.
Wow, excellent. Thank you so much, Aisha. That's what exactly I guess our viewers are looking from you. So so let's talk on the next very important thing, and I guess most of us beat up our students or high schoolers on the extracurriculars, like you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to run to piano, you have to run to painting, you have to run to this and that, and the list goes on. So how was your extracurriculars, and what is your suggestion to everybody who's trying to juggle too many balls and too many things at the same time?
So I think more so the amount of extracurriculars you take is not that important. What is important though, your experience and what you do in each of those extracurriculars. Personally, I did karate for a few years, and while I was doing it, I also started to teach. I became good at it enough to become a teacher, and then start to educate students and everything. And that was a very big part of my academic journey too, because even despite being an extracurricular, it was centric to my academic journey, and it was centric to my life. I really enjoyed being there. So that would be my suggestion to upcoming high schoolers and everyone as well, that do something that you really like and you really are passionate about, which was karate for me. Other than that, I was part of a few non-profits. I had a leadership role in one of them. But I didn't do quite so many things. I wasn't part of 10 clubs. I was part of one serious club where I did the most amount of work, and that was about it. So I think my general advice would just be to do something where you can get the most amount of learning from, the most experiences from, and not to do something just for the sake of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you touched point on being part of non-profit. So let's deep dive into volunteering and a relevant topic around that. So yeah, let us know how you went on for volunteering, where all you volunteered, and what is the importance of the community service that you think helps you and edges you out on your college application.
Right. So I started volunteering from ninth grade. Even though it was virtual learning, I made cards for healthcare workers. And that's quite a common activity to do even nowadays. You can make cards for elderly people, for healthcare workers, for anyone really. So that was like my very beginning volunteering work. I also did a bunch of school volunteering, like cleaning up the roads, cleaning up the school premises, a lot of those things. And then once I started getting into my junior year and my senior year, I think that's when I really started getting into the more serious volunteering where I could do some substantial difference. So I volunteered for nonprofits, I did drives, I did fundraisers. Nothing big. It was nothing big at all. One of the fundraisers I did was purely just for my school. I collected art items. So it was nothing huge. But that's where I got my volunteering hours from. I also volunteered at a hospital as a bistro worker. Again, nothing big. It's just being a bistro worker, even in a hospital. But again, like I mentioned, it gave me an experience, a very, very nice experience, just being there in the cafe, making coffee. That was something that was pretty impactful towards me. So that's about it. I volunteered in nonprofits, I volunteered in the community, and volunteering does play quite a big role in your college applications, I feel. But again, don't do it for the sake of volunteering, do it because you really want to do it.
Yeah, and I remember you mentioning quite a few times that your how you had crafted your high school year is like not sitting at home in this digital world, spending a lot of time on your laptop, but then you kind of focused on being on road and being on gathering experience firsthand,
Yeah.
and not turning the pages of your books, because that would really give you some knowledge, but then that first-hand experience is something that will help you present yourself on the college application. So
Right.
yeah, so that was a good piece of suggestion. Going down the road, I know you also got selected for a governor school, and that's a good feather on the hat. So tell us something about that. How was that experience? How did you land there? Like, what did you do? What was the extra mile that you walked for that?
So governor school, that experience and that application process was completely impromptu. Nowhere in my plan was, even my junior year, I was not planning on applying to governor school. But it is one of the best experiences I've had in my entire high school. I would recommend it to everyone to apply and try for it, because it's a really amazing experience. Speaking on the process of actually getting into governor school, I had to submit a few essays, get a few letters of recommendation. I went into the English track. That is a bit different from, I wanted to go into STEM as my major, but I did go into English for governor school. Bit of a deviation, another new experience, of course. So, I went into English. I wanted to explore the process of delving deeper into English and literature, aside from what we learn in school, like all the boring essays and everything. But a lot of my peers, they went into natural science, which is another subject area for governor school, or social science. So you know, you can go into research, or you can go into political and social laws if you're going into social science. So you know, whatever interests you, go for that for governor school. And you know, I wrote a few essays. Again, a lot of my volunteering, my karate experience came into those essays. So you know, whatever volunteering you do, whatever extracurriculars you do, ties back into a lot of essays you'll be writing. So I wrote about karate on my governor school application, and that ended up being one of the best like pieces of work I've written, even though it was quite in my junior year. I wasn't a great writer, but that ended up being a very good piece of work. So yeah, that was just my application. Experience wise, governor school was great, you know, being alone for a month, living in the dorms, going to classes and all that. So that's how my experience was shaped from governor school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, you did mention that governor school did kind of frame you to the person that you are. So
Right.
that was a very good experience that you carry with yourself. So we have few more and a lot more. So stay tuned for part 2.